All right, what's good, folks? Today we are here for the Challenge 37, Season 37 casting special. They did a casting special today. Thank God I was on Twitter looking because I definitely would have not seen it. But there was a casting special that just finished. It was an hour-long casting special. Nothing too crazy happened just yet, just kind of introducing the cast and basically how the show is going to go. So that's what we're about to talk about right now. I have my notes. We're about to just talk about just some key points that I found throughout the episode. All right, so for the first part of the show, we get TJ just basically talking about it's to be in Spies, Lies, and Allies, and he's got, I think it was 18 in total global agents, and then the Americans, the vets that we know. But the thing is with this Spies theme, I'm so sick of this Spies theme. It's like, it's so tired now. Like, I get like the double agents type shit. It was last season, but it's so similar this season too, with the whole briefcases and stuff that happens later on in the episode. But I'm just like, I'm ready for this thing to be over. Let's get back to like some old school stuff, like rivals and exes and team stuff, like real team challenges and stuff like that. I want to see that, and individual, even just individuals, like go back to an individual challenge. But so we get to meet all of the people that are riding up in cars this time. So typically on the challenge, they all come and they're all there together. And that's before they even get to the house. They typically are like out on a field, or they're out somewhere where they're not at the house, and then they all just migrate to the house together. They run in together, all of that shit. But this time they are in a car and they're set up in different cars. We got Corey, Nelson, and CT in the first car. We got Corey and Nelson in their confessional together, but they're both excited, talking about how, yeah, they each other's riders. These two, I'm rooting for these two. I always root for Corey and I always root for Nelson. I want the two of them to go far in the game because they both always get very close to winning and just don't do it. Corey, I more so root for Corey more than Nelson because Nelson can put his foot in his mouth and Nelson is very corny. Corey's just cooler to me. He's just more of my personal speed as a person, but Nelson, I like Nelson too. Nelson's funny. But Nelson's got heart too. That's the thing. He's a competitor through and through. And same as Corey. Corey's come back after taking a couple seasons off, those seasons before the past few ones, and he's been on a roll. He's been in the final ever since he came back, and he got close to winning 2 seasons in a row. Let's see if this season will be his season. And they're in the car with CT, and they're both talking about, like, CT needs to stay the fucking home. Like, I'm tired of CT coming back and winning, and CT looks good now. Like, CT done came back and got himself right. He back tight and right, so he ain't looking like one of the sleepers anymore. Like, you would sleep on somebody that had the dad bod. You can't sleep on him now. He's looking like CT back in his prime days. But in the next car, we get Amanda Ashley and Corey L. Corey L is the newer one. Of the Americans, Ashley and Amanda, as you know, those two are like this thick as thieves. The two devious ones. Amanda's more the devious one and just wears it very strongly. Ashley is the millionaire Mitchell. She wears her title strongly as well. But I'm just excited. Like I said, I'm excited to see Amanda. Amanda's my girl. I ride with Amanda. She's the one white girl that I really, I go hard for Amanda. I love Amanda. So for her to be back, I'm excited. Last time we saw Amanda, I believe, was War of the Worlds with Devon. Those two, that was a duo too. Man, that was a duo. I want Devon to come back, but Devon gonna be on X on the Beach, y'all. That I will be reviewing, so be ready for that. But yeah, Amanda and Ashley are just basically talking to Corey L, getting to know him. He's wearing this red and black, and they all wearing red and black. He's like, he want to be involved in their little duo and make it a trio, and they're like, yeah, we all matching and shit. Like, so they rocking with him. So, and Corey seems like, just straight out the gate, he seems already like he's gonna be like the life of the show, like the good energy, the good spirit. So I like him so far. And then we got the Survivor trio. We got my girl Michaela, we got Michele, and we got Tommy. And it's funny because they're all talking about, when I say they, I'm talking about Michele and Tommy. They're talking about how they're all survivors. They're going to be banding together, da 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 da. And Michelle's like, we got the 2 winners and we got the game changer, which is her. And I'm going to let them think that I'm with them this whole time. But that ain't the case. I'm here to win the money now. Like, y'all got $1 million. I don't. I'm trying to get that money. Michaela's my girl. I'm rooting for Michaela so hard. But I've been watching her stories on Instagram today, and she did say she will be coming back. So I'm assuming she had a great time. And I'm just excited to see her on the show. I've been wanting her on the show for the longest time. And she's finally here, so I'm excited to see her. The next man, we got Jeremiah, Aneesa, and Tori. Now, Jeremiah, the girls, they got their legs on him and shit. Jeremiah's the man in this point. But they out here just being Aneesa and Tori, being thirsty per usual. Jeremiah's playing with it because, I mean, any dude who gets some love from some women are obviously going to take it and just run with it. But they getting to know him, and Aneesa calling him fine and whatnot. And, you know, Aneesa always want a piece of something. And Jeremiah's just riding with it. Like, he's with the two vets in the game. And yeah, I mean, they just riding together, just getting to know each other. And then we move on to the next man, which is Josh, Devin, and Fessy. 3 niggas in here that I truly can't take. Like, I take them all in small doses. And out of all of them, Devin is the one that isn't the worst for me. It'll be like, in terms of who I can handle the most to the one who I can't stand the most. Devin is the one I can handle the most. Fessy would be in the middle. Josh, I cannot stand that nigga. I can't stand him. But they're in here basically talking about how Devin is now going to be integrated into the Big Brother Alliance. And if you know from previous seasons, Devin has not been a fan of the Big Brother Alliance. He's always been trying to get them out. That is his #1 target every single season he's been on with them. And now he's realized, like, at this point, we stupid. Like, why the fuck are we going back and forth with each other when we literally can work together, considering the fact that he sees that they have such a solid core group that it's kind of hard for them to go against each other. And that's the one thing about Big Brother. I will say that most Big Brother, just in Big Brother in general, most Big Brother alumni, they get on shows like this, they band together and they stay strong together for the most part. And he's like, well, shit, I might as well join y'all at this point. And at this point, I feel like he's only joining them so he can save face with them, so they can get off his ass. But I feel like Devin's gonna slide his way on through, and he gonna stab one of them in the back. We'll see which one's smart enough to realize that. And then we get, in the next band, we get Kaycee and Nany. Of course, these two are in the band together. And they're talking about how Kaycee's single this season, and she's excited to get in here. And Kaycee's talking about she's only got eyes for one person, and that is Nany. And Nany's talking about how she's been in so many relationships with so many dudes. She's hooked up with girls before. She said she's never been in love with any one of them dudes or guys. Or dudes or women. And she said she has that feel in the feelings that she has them for Kaycee that she's never had for anybody else that she's dated before. We knew that. Like, we knew that when y'all first got on the same show together, which was, I believe, 2 seasons ago, when Kaycee was with her girlfriend and you was out here doing what you was doing, and Kaycee was doing what she was doing. At this point, when it comes to cheaters, I ain't really a fan of cheaters, but it's more so Kaycee's fault than it is Nany's, because Kaycee, you was in a relationship with the girl. But I mean, whatever. They single now, so you already know they about to end up fucking, and that's all I gotta say about that. So then they all pull up to the house, and this house is fire, man. This house is nice. Like, if you watch the trailer reaction that I did, you saw little glimpses, but just seeing the house on the TV in the HD, like, this shit is nice. Like, that's probably the nicest house they've had in probably the most recent seasons. Like, that house is beautiful. And then just the location too, just the sun out, and I believe they're in Spain. It's nice. It's really, really nice. But yeah, and then Cory L they're all in there. It's just basically all of them together. So they're all together at this point. And they're all like, where the fuck is everybody else at? And they see all these beds and stuff. And Cory's looking around for Big T. And he wants to see Big T. He likes Big T. But they're all like, where the fuck are the Brits at? Where are they at? So they all looking around, trying to figure out where the beds are and whatnot. And then Michele and Ashley are getting to know each other. And they're just basically talking and relating on game. And Michelle's basically saying, like, my social game is my strong point, and I'm trying to continue to get that going here, and trying to work that around. And Ashley and her, they're just clicking together. And then as they're doing that, a lot of the vets are looking around and seeing a bunch of survivors. That would be Michele, that would be Michaela, and that would be Tommy so far. And they're thinking that's an alliance, and then they know how the Big Brother alliance is, so they're looking at those people like that, like, we might need to band together as vets, because they got an alliance right here, and they got an alliance right here, so we'll see. Then we get CT talking with Cory L. And basically he's talking about his weight loss, and now he's like, I had to get my life back together, I need to get myself back in shape. And he's back in shape, and CT lost hella weight. CT lost hella weight. He looks very, very nice. He looks fit. He looks ready, like he's ready to just compete. And like, if these people see how he's looking right now and allow him to stay in this game, that's their own fault, not his, if he wins. But yeah, they sitting there talking about the beds again. They're like, where the fuck are these people at? So we about to see what's about to happen then. We get back from the commercial break, and we get Nany, Ashley, and Amanda sitting there. And Nany and Ashley are talking about how they like Michele, and they know Michele is very calculated. They know she's a survivor. They know that she's won. So they're looking at her. They like her a lot, but they're looking at her like she's a threat in this game, which they should be, because Michele is not one that you want to sleep on. Michelle's smart, and she's very competitive as well. So when it comes to physicals, I wouldn't count her out either. But Amanda the Devil. We get Amanda, self-proclaimed devil of the challenge, which she wears it so beautifully. Like, that's my girl. She is evil, but she owns it. I love people like her on TV. You got to have somebody like her on TV that can wear that title and actually deliver. Like, don't be like Fessy. Fessy likes to claim like he wants to be this big bad villain and he can handle all the shit that you throw at him, but he always on Twitter talking shit with the fans. Whereas Amanda wears that title proudly. She'll say what she got to say. If the fans want to talk shit to her, they'll talk shit to her. She'll talk shit back, but she ain't gonna be doing what he do out there on Twitter. Yeah, she's talking about how she's been working on the front lines during the pandemic and everything. And she's basically, like, her dad's getting older. She wants to do great things for him. She wants to win the money for him, as well as she just had a baby too. She had a son. So that's the reason why she's here, and she's ready to compete again. And she just missed fighting and arguing with these people. You know, Amanda's the one. I told you, she trill down. Like, Amanda be ready to fight these people. She ain't one that's gonna back down either. But Corey L is now picking Tori's brain, just kind of trying to figure out where she's at, what he should be doing in the game. Basically telling her, like, he's there to represent blacks. He's there to represent black gays. And it's cool. It's cool to see that representation on the show as well. He also talked about how he came out to his dad and he was nervous about it, but his dad was very accepting of it. He's like, as long as you're a good person, I don't care. Which I agree. I feel like that's the way you should be in life. Like, people's sexuality should not bother you. Like, I know a lot of people that have such issues with people's sexuality, and it's like, especially being straight too. Like, me as a straight man, I enjoy seeing people just be themselves. And if you're uncomfortable around gay people, then I feel like that's a problem. Like, I mean, if somebody hits on you, I mean, I understand the wanting to tell them, no, I don't rock that way, but that's all you got to do is just tell them I'm not interested, but you still can respect them as people. And I do understand, just from watching a lot of people, that coming out to your family is hard. So for him to be able to talk about that on TV and have a good experience to show other people that it is possible, that's good. And like I said, the representation is needed on the show and just on TV in general. But yeah, he's cool. Like I said, I feel like he's gonna be a good spirit on the show. I feel like he's gonna be one of those cast members that is just the fans are gonna love. So I'm excited for him. I'm rooting for him as well. But then we get to talking about Tori and Fesia. As you know, Tori and Fesia, they was fucking around last season. They was fucking around after the show. They were talking about how they were out in Turks and Caicos, and fans were taking pictures of their asses and putting that shit on Twitter and Instagram. And if you were on Twitter and Instagram, you saw that shit. And both of them are talking about how, like, it fizzled out. Like, they're better off as friends. Like, duh. Like, just looking at the two of them, it don't seem like it's gonna work. Tori is not faithful. Fessy is not faithful. Fessy just looks like Fessy just trying to fuck. And Tori's just trying to fuck. At this point, they both just basically players trying to play with each other. I don't know. I don't know, but they're not together. And then we get on to, this is kind of like the hookup situation. But then we get Nelson and Amanda. They're talking about the rookies as well. And Devin comes, and it's fun. It's cool. It's a cool little moment because it's all of the Are You the One Season 3 cast members, which is Amanda, Devin, and Nelson. And it's funny because it started off with a lot of Are You the One Season 3s. We had Hunter on and we had Brittany on. But those two have not been back. And it's just these three right now. But Amanda's picking Nelson's brain. Like, how are you feeling about Fessy, considering what he did to you last season? And Fessy's like, and Nelson's like, I'm not fucking with Fessy. Like, at this point, I'm not fucking with him. and I'm gonna get him back at this point. And Amanda's like, good, because that pissed me off when I was watching it. And I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that Nelson is finally starting to see that, and hopefully he does stick true to that. But you never know with Nelson. Nelson's a very forgiving person, as he said. But hopefully he don't allow Fessy to bullshit with him anymore. So that's where that's at. And even though Amanda said all that, Amanda says she is eyeing Fessy because she finds him very cute and very attractive. And then you know Amanda's gonna go for him because he's the villain in the game, and Amanda she attracts the villainess and the villains, and that's just Amanda. She just wants to be messy, and that's why I love her. That's why I love her. But yeah, so then we get Cory basically checking Fessy about Nelson, basically asking him, like, have you checked on Nelson? Where y'all at right now? Have you even tried to make amends? Yada yada yada. Fessy's basically saying he knows that he was wrong and he wants to work towards working together and moving forward. And he knows it's either going to be moving forward or they just going to be at each other's necks. And it's going to be eye for an eye, and whoever gets each other out first. So basically Fessy seems like he's open to reconciling with Nelson. But if I was Nelson, I wouldn't fuck with him. Like, you do me wrong one time, that's all I need. Like, you're not about to do it again, and if you do it again, that's my fault, and then I look stupid. But Cory says it's gonna get ugly, and that's just what it is. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. Cory's kind of the mediator in this situation because Nelson's his boy. That's his number one in the game, but Fessy is a number for him, so why would he cut Fessy off right now? But then we get another commercial, and then we come back with Nelson flirting with Michele. Nelson, we can already tell this is kind of like foreshadow. Nelson gonna be getting some pussy this season. Nelson gonna be getting some play this season, man. Nelson about to come in here and get it on. But he's flirting with Michele, and as he's flirting with Michele, Cory is with Ashley. And it's like, come get your girl, Nelson, come get your girl. Because I guess Ashley was watching. And it gets funny too, because I'm like, Nelson and Ashley, where the fuck did that come from? Which is so interesting to me too, because Ashley was dating Hunter at one point. Well, I don't even know that you consider it dating, but they was fucking around at one point. So it's like the bro code. That's what I'm thinking, because Nelson, Cory, and Hunter were like the Team Young Buck, and then Hunter's gone, and now Nelson's trying to get him some of everything, and I ain't mad at him. You single, do you? But then Fessy is basically talking about, this is what killed me. Fessy was talking in his confessional saying, like, a lot of people see me as this nasty person, this cocky dude, yada, 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 but there's different sides to me. And I'm participating in Ramadan, and Ramadan is happening right now while we're filming this show. And the way he just dropped that, like, that's supposed to be an excuse for why he's a cocky asshole, like, Fessy, that's a part of your religion. Like, you ain't the only person that's doing Ramadan. Is that supposed to make you any less of a jackass because you're doing Ramadan? Like, nigga, please, man, get the fuck out of here. That part, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's the other side to you? Like, just because you do Ramadan, that's supposed to make you a better person? Please. Anyways. But TJ tells them, they all get this little alert, like they did last season with the whole activation alert. Tells them to activate, tells them to go ahead and get their uniforms and meet him at the site. So they're all sitting there putting on their best acting like they had no idea what the fuck was going on. But they about to go meet TJ. While they going to meet TJ, we meeting the global agents. So at this point, they're leaving the house. The American vets are leaving the house. The vets and the rookies that are Americans are leaving the house to go see TJ. And as they're seeing TJ, the global people are coming. So we meet them, and the first ones that we meet is Huey from Big Brother UK, and he's talking about how he's known as being too loud and too annoying, and I can already tell he gonna get on my nerves. Like, I can already tell. And then we got Gabo. He's from Warsaw Shore, which is I think he said Polish version of Jersey Shore. And they're in the car with Kyle, and Kyle's basically kind of giving them a rundown of what to expect, yada yada. And then in the same scene, we got Big T with Logan and Bettina. Logan's from Survivor Spain, and she's basically doing the same thing, trying to give them a little rundown of what's going on and how they're feeling about it. Like I said, Logan is from Survivor Spain. He's got this Spanish accent. Big T is already crushing on this nigga. I'm like, Big T, really, the white boy, that's the one you want to go for? But then again, that's the first person she's seen, so I can't trip on it. But she's crushing, so Big T might be trying to make some moves with Logan. We'll see. And then we got Bettina ass. Bettina is sitting here laughing, this screeching ass laugh. Like I don't know what the hell it is. And most people have distinct laughs. I have a very distinct laugh if you haven't already noticed. But my laugh, I don't think my laugh is annoying, and most people that are around me or meet me don't find it annoying. If anything, they laugh with me because they love how I laugh. But this bitch right here, she got a laugh that is so fucking irritating. I'm like, she got to go. Get this bitch out of here. And she was laughing in the car, and she was laughing in the confessional, and they just, I can't even do it. But Big T's like, this girl and this laugh, like, what the hell? So then the next van we get is Priscilla with Emmy and Emmanuel. And let's talk about Priscilla. Priscilla is fine. She is fine. Like, she's beautiful. Like, chocolate skin. She's from Love Island, UK. I've never watched Love Island, UK, so I don't know. But she's beautiful. And then she in the car. They got the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful girls in the car with two of, in my opinion, two of the least attractive. And we got Emmy and we got Emmanuel. And both of them are kind of odd looking. They look a little rough. But they both from Survivor, so I know they ain't gonna play no games when it comes to competition. So I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna do. And then we got the Melanin bus. This is another bus, just a chocolate royalty. We got Tasha's fine ass, we got Esther's fine ass, and then we got Kel's. Like, and Esther and Tacha, they basically talking about how like they're both spicy. They Nigerians, like Africa strong. Like they are beautiful, beautiful. Tasha's like, she's spicy, she's known for being spicy, and Esther's like, Tacha does certain things that she doesn't necessarily like. So that's where their difference, their beef might have came from in Big Brother Nigeria. If you haven't watched, I believe she was fighting with her in Nigeria, but I don't know. But they're excited to play the game. Kels is real excited to play the game. Kels, I'm seeing Kels as a potential like gamer in here. Just looking at the cast list when I did the cast assessment a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, I wasn't looking at Kels as somebody that was gonna be a prominent figure on this show. And just from this casting special alone, I feel like he's gonna have a presence on the show, and I'm excited about that. Cause Kels look like he ready to put these niggas through a clinic. But he doing good. And they all come into the house, and they get into the house, and they're all just basically looking for the vets, just like the vets was looking for them. So they're all just basically sitting around talking and looking at the house, seeing that the beds are there, and Kyle's always the first one to see that the Americans have been there. He can see that certain things have been touched. And then we meet Berna. Berna, she grew up in the circus. She does a lot of circus shit, so she's very athletic and very limber. Kyle is basically telling us that he's expecting a child, so that's another reason for him to be here to fight for that money again. Which we all knew that was coming, because a lot of these niggas on this show don't know how to wrap it up and don't know how to pull it out. So one way or another, you're gonna have a baby on the way. But he's expecting a baby with his girlfriend back home. And then we got Nam. Nam, a lot of people love Nam, but me, I don't care to see him on the show. He don't bring nothing to the show. Like all of last season, I didn't know he was there. Like the only time I knew he was there was when Lolo's drama was starting, because he's attached to Lolo. But Nam don't bring shit to the show, so I really don't want him back on the show next season. But that's not up to me. But Big T is talking to the rookies, and basically she's like, yeah, I'm working with the rookies yet again this season. And Big T's smart. That's the one thing I will say about her. She knows how to work that social aspect, because she knows some people are going to try and pick her as a weak link. Because out of most of the girls, she is the one that isn't the most domineering or the most fearful. But she's working with the rookies this season again, so Big T knows she got to keep her bases covered, and she knows that'll be some numbers in her favor, so smart for her. And then we get a little sneak peek to basically Devin telling us that we got the show happening tomorrow, the premiere happening on Wednesday. And since we see Devin, I want Devin to host this show so bad, and if not that, just give her the reunion. But Devin needs to host this show. Devin Simone, she was a challenger. She was a 2-time finalist on 2 of the seasons the only 2 seasons that she did compete on. Devin she's just a great host. Like, Devin's entertaining as fuck. I want her on this show as a host. That's it. Like, I want that to happen. So we come back from the commercial, and Kels is basically talking about he ain't scared of these niggas. Like, where they at? Like, come on, where they at? He ready to come for him. He's trying to chop heads. And like I said, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see Kels come in here and be hot on these niggas' asses and ready to fight. Like, that's what I want to see. But then they go ahead to meet the Americans because TJ lets them know that they are going to, what did he say? He says that they are going to have to extract their partners, and everyone's trying to figure out what that means, and I'm trying to figure out what that means too. I'm like, what the fuck? But Kyle tells them that they're probably going to have to go find their partners, dig up their partners. But no, there's this dude that comes in with 2 briefcases, and the 2 briefcases that he drops down has basically a stat list. It has their pictures, it has their stats, how many eliminations they've won, how many challenges they've won, yada yada. And basically the rookies, well, not even the rookies, but just the Brits and the globals, they're looking at the stat sheets, everybody's looking at stuff, and basically Kels is saying he wants Kaycee because Kaycee's a threat. I was gonna say, like, you got Michaela right there, but he don't know Michaela and doesn't really have too many stats besides her being on Survivor. But Michaela would have been my first choice. But he also says Tori because she's loyal and hot. Kels, really? Out of all them women, you think this one's hot? Taste is not. I have taste, but some people don't. And then we get Huey. Huey wants Aneesa. Berna wants CT. And Nam is basically warning Tacha, like, don't choose Fessy, because if you choose Fessy, you're looking at Fessy, and I know you see he's tall, he's kind of built and kind of strong. Obviously, you would want to partner with somebody like that physique, but just know, partnering with him is possibly going to put a target on your back because he's not liked, which is true, and I'm glad he did say that. Tacha seemed like she might have been listening, but not too much. And then Renan, we meet Renan, and Renan's talking about how he hooped overseas professionally for some years, and I find that pretty interesting because looking at him, I wasn't expecting that. So I'm excited to see him. Actually, I wasn't too excited to see him at all, but yeah, I'm ready to see him compete. But that was it, and I'm actually really excited about this season. I'm excited to see how they edit this. If they edit this right, add all the fights in that they showed in the trailer, I feel like we might have a show on our hands. Because like I said, that trailer was nice. That trailer was nice. The house is nice. The location is nice. For the most part, this cast seems like it could be kind of cohesive, and it could be some stars on the rookie side as well as we got some on the vet side. But yeah, I'm excited about this. If you like this video, go ahead and thumbs it up. Comment down below. Y'all do be commenting on these challenge videos, so I appreciate that. Share the shit. Like, if you know somebody that watches the challenge and likes to hear other people talk about it, send them to me. Follow me on Twitter. Go ahead and do that now if you don't already do that. Follow me on Twitter. I'm dropping that in here, as well as just follow me on Instagram as well. But I live tweet the show. I talk about the show. And if you have a Twitter and you like to talk about shit, hit me up and I'll talk to you there, and then you get to come and watch me talk even more in depth here. But that's all I got for you. I will see y'all on Wednesday. Check with me later.